All right, let's get started. Today, I'm going to share with you some of the most frequently asked questions I've been getting about all the topics that relate to this channel. Things like the second round of PPP loans, a little bit of unemployment, and even some credit card questions. You're not going to want to miss this. So you heard right. If I take you behind the scenes of what it's like to be a finance YouTuber and blogger and podcaster, I spend a large portion of my week answering comments, specifically the YouTube comments. I've been getting flooded with emails, even direct messages. So today I wanted to kind of spread the information around with you, specifically with some of these topics that have been on people's minds and in the news. Oh, and don't forget to like this video. It really helps, so thanks. All right, this first question comes from Jessica. Basically, it looks like she is a sole proprietor who just got her first PPP loan. This is part of the second round, though, but it's her first one. And she's asking if she can pay her contractors with that PPP money and then spend the rest on things like office supplies, utility, and office rent. Well, Jessica, the answer to your question is no. This money is meant for owner's compensation. Basically, as a sole proprietor, it's meant to pay you. And this applies to anyone who files that Schedule C. Essentially, if you got the correct amount, and again, I'll leave a link down below to my correct PPP loan amount calculator. It's completely free to sign up for one. Jessica, you check that number and then essentially you pay yourself that money. Now, just like any money that comes to you, once it's yours, you can do with it whatever you want. For example, you can pay these contractors, you can pay your office bills, you can pay some personal bills, but you first need to pay yourself. Now, this is just a little bit of a formality, but I'm giving you the answer of how to think about it and go about the proper way of using the money. Next question comes from Eric. This is for my small business credit card application video for American Express. So did you actually get approved? Yes, Eric, I did. I love that credit card. It is one that I would suggest for any sole proprietor. Yes, you can apply for it. You don't need like an LLC or a special tax filing number. All you do is you apply using your name and social security number as your business. And yes, they do pull your personal credit just to make sure that you are who you are and that they want to give you this card. But then after that, these business credit cards don't report to the personal credit bureaus. I really like this card that I featured in this video from American Express because it has 0% APR on all purchases for the first 12 months. So if you're interested in that video, I will link it up here in this video right now. Okay, back to some PPP questions. Just Breathe asks, can I get the full EIDL grant and have my PPP forgiven? Yes, there is a new rule. If you got the EIDL grant, that is no longer going to be deducted from your PPP loan forgiveness. So you can get the grant and then you can have your PPP forgiven. Unfortunately, many people are finding out even with this second round of EIDL that they're not going to get the grant. Maybe they got a little bit the first time around. Nobody's really getting it right now. Stay persistent though. I've heard whispers that the SBA is going to open up that grant application, essentially the EIDL grant and loan, the combo, and try to help people who didn't get that full $10,000 amount. But don't hold your breath on that. It's been a nightmare since last spring, but I'll keep you updated on this channel too. But yeah, you can get both. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Next question. I applied for my PPP loan and have not heard nothing for over a week. It says they need more information. Very confused and frustrated. I completely understand this. There are thousands of lenders that are attempting to take all the applications and send them to one place, the SBA. And the SBA is basically still dragging their feet. I mean, have people gotten PPP loans the second time around? Yes, but not as many as you think. So my recommendation is to do two things. Reach out to the lender. You got to start email communication. For example, email, call, try to actually get somebody to look at your application. And the second thing is go ahead and apply somewhere else. If after a week they still can't tell you what's going on with your application, you have the right to go and apply somewhere else and see if they can process it faster. Some of my recommendations for that could be your local credit union, like if you can get a local lender on the phone, somebody you trust. I have a link down below to Womply. They can set you up with lenders who are actually accepting applications, and they have a helpline you can call if you actually want to speak with someone about the status of your application. So check that out. Okay, this next one's a really good one. I am self-employed I think a lot of you are going to like this one. I am self-employed and I applied for unemployment money. Can I have the PPP loan and get forgiveness? Or would I have to end up paying it back because I got unemployment? Now, just to be clear, this has been the question since the beginning for a lot of people. And no one wants to be caught double dipping and having to pay back the loan. Unemployment is considered taxable income. So when everyone's filing their taxes later this year, you're going to take the unemployment money that you got, whether it was from way back in the spring and those $600 payments or $300 or $400 payments, all of that is considered taxable income you have to report. So yes, you can get that, and you should if it's much larger than what you're going to get for the PPP loan. You know, start there for most people. In terms of getting the PPP loan, go ahead and check out that calculator I mentioned before and see how much you could get. Because with this second round, you can actually apply. And then if there's any funds left over, maybe they extend the deadline, it's possible that, yes, you can apply a second time. Many people who applied this second round are getting a second round of funding. Now, of course, you don't want to be caught double dipping. But to be clear, PPP is considered a loan, essentially a forgivable loan, grants, if you want to look at it like that. Nowhere on your taxes are you going to be reporting this PPP money, even if it's money as a sole proprietor that you paid yourself. And I know that sounds like a little gray, but ask yourself this question. If you were getting that $600 last summer per week for unemployment, that was probably going to be more beneficial and fruitful for you than this PPP loan. But now, if your unemployment hasn't been paying, let's say it's the end of March and there's no more federal bonus, then go ahead and apply. You have 24 weeks to use PPP money. So if you're collecting unemployment for 6 of those weeks and then you stop and you pay yourself the PPP, by all means, you go ahead and get both. I know that was a long-winded answer, but again, the guidance is simply not to use the same funds for the same purposes at the same time. But over the course of 24 weeks, I'm sure you could find a time to pay yourself the PPP money. By the way, I have links to all of this on my website. It is a wealth of resources and knowledge, so please check those out. You can actually read some of these rules, and if you find them beneficial, you can pass them along to other people in your community, and then you could be the person that has all the answers and help them. All right, let's end with a couple of fun ones. We also talk saving and investing on this channel. This question comes from Jennifer on the best index funds. Jennifer's asking, what percentage of your funds go into the index funds you mentioned from Vanguard that you like? Do you do equal parts, 25% for each? Well, to answer your question, Jennifer, I am very aggressive because I'm looking at these investment funds as retirement accounts. They are retirement accounts, but I have other retirement accounts, a pension, investment accounts. So my answer is extremely aggressive. I do 49% in both a U.S. stock market total index fund and an international stock market total index fund, and just 2% in a U.S. bond total market index fund. I love talking about this stuff, so if you ever want to book a personal call with me, I am available, and I'll leave a link down below for that in the description. All right, and final question, what are your favorite stocks right now? Let me know in the comments. That's actually my question. And Raymond says that he's looking into renewable energy stocks, BEPC. Also has a lot of eyes on Alibaba. They're the Chinese Amazon. And Raymond, Alibaba's on my list. I don't know if some of you know this. You can actually check out my first stock market portfolio ever. I'll flash it on the screen right now. Again, you can kind of follow along. I don't always make videos on what I'm buying. This is more of my fun money, my research money for being a finance YouTuber. But again, check that out. That'll be down below in the description. All right, let's wind this thing down. I love answering your questions. The best way to really get in touch with me is going to be to comment on one of my YouTube videos. I struggle a little bit with keeping up with the emails, but if you'd like to sign up for that, I do have an email list and I send those out a couple times a month. If you haven't already, please be sure to like this video. And if you're new to the channel and stuck around to the end, hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.